So this is what I want to show you today. I want to show you how to work with your embossing folders, especially this birch one. And it's retiring, and I'm really sad to say that it's retiring. But I want to show you how to do this little technique. It's very simple. You may have done it before, but gonna have a couple stamp sets. I'm using Retiring Set Rustic Retreat, which I love, and the Staying In Set Mountain Air for the mountains in the background. All right. I have a lot of junk sitting here too. Okay, so I'm using the Tasteful Textures embossing folder on my navy piece. It's hard to tell if you can see that. I've got so much light going on here. All right. And then I'm using white as the piece that we're going to be working with. My colors of ink are Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy for the mountains. The Early Espresso is for the stamping part, and the Crumb Cake and Misty Moonlight are for the folder part. Okay, so we got a sponge as well. So let's get started. So this is my birch embossing folder. I had cut it down years ago so that I could fit it, I think so that I could fit it sideways through my embossing folder this way, because it was too big to fit through. Also maybe so that we could fit it through that little tiny thing that we had that just embossed. I can't remember what it was called. So anyways, hi ladies, thanks for joining me. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the part of the embossing folder that has the most smooth background. Okay, this side is where the trees are pushed up. This side, the trees are indented. I don't want to stamp or do anything where the trees are. However, when I sponge, I may get a little bit on the trees because the sponge is not flat. So we are going to work on this section right here. And I'm going to start with my lightest color. And that is the Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to sort of brush it down across here. I want to get a nice amount of ink on there. Of course, I get more on the edge than anything, and I do have just so I don't smear everything. And then I'm going to add, well, I'm going to go ahead and put some more of that on, then I'll add the Misty Moonlight. And then I'm just going to come down across here. You can see it gets a little dark in places. I don't want too much where my stamping is because I don't want it to, this is going to be a pretty intense color, so I don't want it to fight with my stamping design. That's why I'm going to add a little bit of sponging down here. Next, I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to just grab a little bit of it and bring it down through here. And then maybe just a touch of it here, but the mountains are going to be in that area, so put a little bit here at the side. I don't know if I'm going to get anything over there or not. Okay, so you can see that it hits the little parts of the trees, but the indented portion it doesn't touch because it's a flat surface. So I'm finished with these, with that one anyways. I am going to add a little bit of sponging down here where I'm going to stamp, just because I don't want too much white space. And but I'm sponging because I don't want it to fight with my design. Hopefully hopefully you can hear me over the impact driver. I see I got ink here, and that is not a good thing. So fortunately, I have my sponges, my chamois. I'm going to get the color out of that. Do not want color on that side. All right. Now I'm finished with this one. Okay, next we're going to add our stamping. I'm going to do my mountains first. So I'm going to ink them in Night of Navy. You can see I didn't clean my stamp last night when I designed this card, because I was going to be using it again. Alright, and I'm just going to stamp that right across here. Trying to keep it up a little bit so that it doesn't interfere with my cabin and my deer. And it looks like I missed that right there. I don't know why that seems a little indented. I'm going to try to hit that again. Let me see how good I can line this up. I feel like I'm not doing a good job because I'm not right over top of it. I probably make it smudgy, but okay, that's not too bad. All right, and then early espresso. And I tried to find a good image to stamp. It's really better to have something that has a larger, what do I want to say, stamping design area, but this is a very fine print. It's a little less than I would prefer, but it did do okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. The one that I showed last night was the old time car that we had, and it was a little more of a solid outline than these are. And I'm going to, you see this wider tree here, not wider tree, wider space between the trees. I really want his head to show, so I'm going to put it right in there. And it's really tricky to stamp on these because, you know, you want to push with the back here and move everything around. All right, we're done with that. Hopefully we've got everything on there. You can see everything is very random. And now I'm going to put my cardstock on this side because I don't want to try laying it on there and not moving it. So I'm going to put it on this side. Actually, there's a spot on there, so I'm going to turn that around. And I want to make sure that I have it below where that is starting, where my design is. And then I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to hold that. Wow. Goodness, this feels heavy this morning. Grab my Big Shot. I've already taken my cutting, I think, my die cutting plate out. And this is an older thin one, so it takes 2 plates, I believe. Let's see if that's right. And I'm just going to run that through with the fold first. And I might just run it back through because I really want to make sure all of that color has transferred. Now, I used my old Big Shot last night, so I'm going to just carefully open this. Make sure that I got everything. Yep, that looks good. Let me get rid of this and I'll show you what we have. So, there we go. Everything has transferred. Now we have this beautiful image with the deer in the background and the cabin, mountains. What do you guys think? Is that fun? This just run underwater till it's rinsed off. That's all I did last night. And hopefully I don't have a lot of ink on the edge. You can see I've got some on me there. Okay, so let's put it together. I love this tag. I love this wood looking tag with the thinking of you. So I took that and stamped it. I did go ahead and cut it out. And I have a little bit of linen thread. So I'm going to put it above the mountains this time so that I don't hide the mountains. I think on my other card I hid the mountains a bit. So I'm going to put it up here a little further. And looks like I got that plenty long. Tie a bow over here. So how is your morning? It's a beautiful morning out there. For those of you that joined me late, or later than I was, I'm getting a new garage door today. It finally came in. We ordered it in like January or February. January, I think, because it's been like 2 months. So very happy to be getting a new garage door. Our other one has been defunct for a while. And I've got some dimensionals here. I cut them in half because I want them towards the edge, and I want my cording to go between there so that this lays down nicely and doesn't flop around. So I cut them in half so that I could put them on either side of that. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and adhere this to my piece of Night of Navy, and it was in my card front drawer, already embossed with the I think it's called something tasteful something weave or something. I can't remember. It's one that's staying, and I'm happy about that since they're taking away our subtle embossing folder that you guys know I love and adore. Okay, and I didn't put enough adhesive there. Don't know why. Both of these pieces are embossed, so you definitely want plenty of adhesive so that you don't have a bunch of gaps there. And again, I'm going to try to not pick up this paper since it's embossed. You know how this Stampin' Seal Plus will grab any fibers of cardstock that have been damaged. So usually if I go nice and slow, it doesn't do that. It's usually when I'm fast and furious that it will do that. So this is cut just a hair smaller than my cardstock size, so I'm gonna have just a tiny border around. It looks like it's not going to be completely even, but there we go. And let me just do a little hair trim here. There. All right. So I hope you like that idea. You can see what other embossing folders that might work good for. As long as there is a nice flat part, and we don't have a lot like that. Oh, Laura, you're in Ocean City. I'm jealous, but thank you for joining me. That's awesome. So yeah, I don't think we have a lot of embossing folders. Let's just look in here once. This is just the current catalog, guys, so don't panic. Unfortunately, I did print out the new one just because I can't stand being on the computer looking at it. I'm having trouble finding the embossing folders. I guess they're towards the end, right? There we go. So, yeah, we don't have a lot of other ones that would work. The Magnolia would work. I'm not sure what you would stamp behind that. Maybe a script or something. Because it has a lot of flat surface, the same with the Dandelion one. I don't feel like the bricks would work because there's a lot of, that's a 3D one, and I think the 3D ones, especially with all the different 3D things on there, would probably not work very well. So the Woodland is about the best. I highly suggest that you get this one if you don't have it yet, while it's still available. It is a fabulous, I just have used it so many times. I have so many samples out there. I probably should have brought them in to show you. Gonna really miss that one. My favorite. Beside the subtle, that's my favorite. And this one's been around, I'm figuring, I bet you 10 years. I'm not sure, but I bet you close to 10 years we've had this one. Maybe not quite that long. All right. And I guess that's why it's going, right? I